how valuable has this last week been in sort of just taking a deep breath and reevaluating things? Because Christmas is hectic. You've had a COVID outbreak. And now because of rearranged games, the next 3 weeks are really hectic as well.
Yeah, I think taking that into consideration definitely helped this week. I think I was very transparent in terms of the Carabao Cup run. I wanted to go a step further, so I would have loved to play a semi-final. When that didn't happen, then I'm pleased, Jamie. I must say that I had a week breather just to regroup everything and everyone. Also, I think we've been very hard done by injuries, so hopefully this can help us. And as you said, we are going into a spell of what 5 games in 2 weeks, so it's going to be tough from Saturday and going forward.
And I think people saw from the way Brentford dealt with the cup competitions last season, the way that you have this season as well, that you'll obviously you're keen for a run in the FA Cup as well.
Yeah, 100%. We like to do well. Of course, we truly respect Port Vale. Good team that's doing well in League Two and they're in the playoffs. But yeah, I'll put a strong team out there. I'll put a strong squad to travel because I believe in keeping the momentum. And yeah, we'd love to go on a couple.
It wasn't that long ago, 8 years, I think, in fact, that this would have been a league fixture, and now it's Premier League versus League Two. This is one of those weeks where fans can really appreciate just how far this club has come in a short space of time.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes we are only not even 6 months into our first Premier League season, but it just put things in perspective. We are in Premier League, Port Vale is in League Two. We need to embrace that we have done so well, and I think that sometimes is more clear when we play the cup tournaments.
I'm sure you will have done your homework this week and you know lots about Port Vale. For a lot of people, the most famous thing about Port Vale is that Robbie Williams is their biggest celebrity fan. I didn't know if that was something you were aware of.
No, but I like him, and I think he's made some fantastic music.
You're a Robbie Williams fan, yeah?
Yeah, a fan is a big word, but I like his music.
Were you into Take That back in the 90s as well, or not so much?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Brilliant. Listen, best of luck for the weekend, Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We'll have Ian Abrams next, please.
Thanks, Chris. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Thomas. How are you?
Happy New Year, Ian. Thank you very well. How are you?
Very well. Sorry, I can't do it in Danish. I just about speak English. You've got nothing to lose. You've got everything to lose in this game, haven't you? I mean, Port Vale and the team below you, if they beat you, it's a real shock, and everyone will say, "Wow, how could a Premier League team lose to a League Two team?" So, how do you approach that with your team selection?
Good question. I believe and hope that we again can show that we will put out first and foremost a good team, but also a good performance where the bits that I believe massively in the culture, you can see that it's shining through everything. So maybe not everything is in sync, but it's a team that is working hard, it's a solid foundation. The relations we built if we change a few players, and because we have hopefully a relatively clear system style of play, it's hopefully easier for the players to step in. I think the first. I think it's a good comparison, the game against Forest Green in the Carabao Cup, where we struggled a bit first half, but then we got a bit going through second half, and then we played the Oldham game. And that was also a similar team with, some normal starters and then some players coming off the bench. But just, there was just a better rhythm from the start of the game. So we never know what's going to face us, but we will be ready. And I promise we'll put a team out there that will be ready to fight and want to progress to the next round.
Yeah, you mentioned those games against Forest Green and Oldham. I guess that gives you an idea of what you're going to be facing, although different cup competition and obviously away from home rather than at your stadium.
Yeah. But first and foremost, I heard that playing away to Port Vale is tricky ground, or there it could be lively, which I hope. I hope we have a very fantastic cup atmosphere. I'm 100% sure that Darryl Clark will put his strongest side out there, because they have been hit by COVID, and then got a lot of other games postponed because other teams had COVID. So he need a game with his starting 11, which we're looking forward to face. We're up for it. We know they like to play and try to attack, but we'll be ready for that.
Your favourites this weekend, which I guess for pretty much your whole time at Brentford, I can't remember a really big game where you've been favourites, even in the playoff finals against Fulham and Swansea. Maybe Swansea was 50-50, but Fulham, you'd have been underdogs, and every week this season in the Premier League, you'd have been underdogs. So how are your team going to deal with the tag of being favourites?
Good question. I would say what we did the last 2 seasons in Championship, especially last season, most of the games we went in as the favourite in the game. But I haven't even really thought about that. My approach will be the same to like the other games. We'll go in there, try to do it our way, try to attack the game first from the first second of the game, and I'm pretty sure that will be fine.
You're doing well in the Premier League. Just got a couple more. You're doing well in the Premier League. Does that mean you can have a real crack at trying to do very well in the FA Cup this season? You don't need to worry about relegation necessarily.
Yeah, but you know, Ian, I think about the next game, and that is now the FA Cup game against Port Vale. Do everything we can to win. I think maximum focus, and then after that, on to the next game against Southampton. I like to win. I want to win.
My last one, about 3 weeks ago, I was speaking to you on one of these press calls, and you called for a 2-week break because of COVID. That period's passed, and we're still going through this whole wave of COVID. Do you think you were vindicated in what you said 2 weeks ago? Do you think you were right in what you said? And do you think maybe you should have had that break, or do you think the Premier League were right to plough through with the amount of games? I think we had 18 games called off since you mentioned it.
Good question. I don't know. I felt that was the right thing at that time. You can see every club are hit a little bit, staggered down the line. It seems to be now it's Liverpool who got their COVID outbreak. I think every club will have it at one stage. Now the Premier League decided to play through, try to play as many games as possible, which now that is the decision. Now we need to adapt and do the best we can to play the games.
Brilliant. Good luck this weekend, Thomas.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hey, Thomas. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, Phil. Good, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much indeed. Just a couple. As you were saying, really, to Ian, there's more games to come next week and on the weekend as well. How difficult does that, make it for you as a coach to pick the team that you need, especially when you consider the issues that have been picked up over the last few weeks with injuries as well as the effect of COVID?
Are you picking the team for
the Port Vale game? Yeah.
Yeah, for Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think it's finding the right balance between play a team that we think is strong enough to progress to the next round of the FA Cup, giving some of the players that deserve play more minutes without everyone. Then there's some players we like to get going. The good news that I can say that now, Christopher Ayer will start. So that's very positive. We need him to play. And there's others also we need to get up to speed. So it's finding that balance, because we're also playing on Tuesday against Southampton. I think there's no problem playing Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday with the same starting 11, but it's about finding the right balance where we try to make the strongest team in all 3 games that can go at the highest intensity all 3 games.
And again, you mentioned it. Port Vale virtually haven't played for a month, have they? Really? So what sort of that's a very difficult circumstance for them to cope with, really, because although people can train and maintain their fitness, it's that match sharpness, isn't it, that may mean that they may just need to switch on quickly, because we know how Brentford can start.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in doubt if they have played any friendlies in that spell, if that was possible for them. I don't know that, to be fair. But of course, you can train to top level, and you can also play an internal level 11. But of course, that match sharpness, that means something. I don't know if their training ground was closed or not. But no matter what, I'm sure they'll come flying out and they'll do everything they can to perform and impress and do what they can to win.
And finally, for me, obviously there may be some players getting some game time. We spoke about Mads Roersleff after the last match, and an example of the system that you have there at Brentford, breeding success. So this is an opportunity maybe for other players who've had that route, such as Mads, to get a shine in a major competition. Yeah,
definitely. I think there's other players that can get a start and an opportunity to show what they are about. It's that balance to do that, but always also put a good team out there. I don't believe in changing 11 players from the game against Villa to the game against Port Vale. I think we need to have a kind of a balance so we can put a more consistent team performance out there.
Brilliant. Best of luck at the weekend. Thanks for your time, Thomas.
Thank you, Phil.
We'll go to Jay Harris next, please.
Thank you, Chris. Hope you had a good New Year with your wife and cake and champagne, Thomas. Wanted to ask you something slightly off topic. Just wanted to ask you what your reaction to the news was that Rasmus is going to be involved at Southampton going forward.
Happy New Year to you as well, Jay. No, I think first and foremost, I think Erasmus has done a fantastic job for us, and I've known him for I can't remember, it's 10 or 15 years. I think it's 15 years actually. It must be. So, and I've loved to work together with him in almost 5 years here in Brentford. So I will miss him. I think we will miss him in Brentford. I think he done a top job. I think it was his 7 or 8 years. So you can't say it's not was well done in terms of be part of progressing a club to be a Premier League club and a well-established club in terms of recruiting and selling players. I don't know too much about the Southampton thing, to be fair. The only thing I would love if he was here, he's not. I'm confident that me, Phil Giles, Lee Dykes and Matthew will find a way to do well as we've done the whole time.
If Rasmus has done such a top job at Brentford, are you a little bit worried that he's going to take some of what's made Brentford so successful over the last 6 or 7 years and kind of help Southampton get better?
Yeah, because Rasmus is very intelligent. He's very good at his job in terms of building a club and make them better. Been part of that in both Midtjylland and Brentford. But I also know one thing in football: you don't do like this, and then overnight, then a team get better or a club get better. I also clearly remember what he said to me when I visited him more than 5 years ago. He said, "Oof, if it's this tough," he was a little bit in doubt if he should have gone into Brentford. So I think Southampton are doing a good job, but to do a big turnaround or whatever, it will take time.
Thank you, Thomas. The only other kind of questions I wanted to ask, I just wanted kind of fitness updates on a few players. So I'm just going to rattle the names off because it's probably easier. So Rico, Brian, Zanka, Charlie, Matty, and Sergi, if that's okay, please.
Yeah, that's okay. I think I know Sergi and Matty will not be involved in the game on Saturday. They should be available for Southampton. Especially Matty could be pushed probably to be involved, but we don't take the chance. Charlie and Zanka is a little bit further away. Brian hopefully most likely will be involved in the game on Saturday. Rico is just one step too early for Saturday.
Thank you, Thomas. I think that's everything from me, so thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jay.
John Lupo next, please, from Vale.
Thank you, Chris. Happy New Year, Thomas. How are you?
Happy New Year, John. Thank you. I'm very well. And you?
I'm good, thanks. So I saw that Jonas Losel was brought in and he spoke to the club website a couple of days ago. Just two-part question. Talk about the experience that he brings, knowing that David's going to be out for a little while longer. And is there any chance that once he gets caught up to speed, we may see him in get a start or two, considering you have a busy fixture list coming up?
Yeah, we brought Jonas in because we wanted, as you said, a bit more experience and a bit more cover. Matthew Cox is a keeper that we believe massive in. I'm 100% sure there is a future of Brentford. He's done very well the first 6 months they've been here. But we also know that Premier League is the best league in the world, and it's our first season there, so we just need to be a little bit more precautious and be having enough cover if needed in a season where everything can happen in terms of COVID and injuries. So that's why we brought him in. So we're very pleased that he joined us, and with his experience and level, hopefully he can help us.
I saw that Johan scored a very important goal against Aston Villa. I know you probably are pleased with the progression he's made, but I feel every time a player comes in, especially from another country, to, as you said, the best league in the world, do you think that was, considering you were down in that game and he scored the goal that leveled the match, do you think that was sort of like his moment where he really just became a Brentford player, if you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand. It's I can't remember. I think I told someone that was why we brought him in and paid quite a lot of money for him. That was to produce some of these magic moments that a little bit out of nothing, he produced a goal when we needed the most. That also changed a bit the momentum of the game. So that was really good and fantastic for us. To be fair, I think he's getting better and better. But I still think he's not as sharp as he was just before he got injured against West Ham. When I've seen the trainings, he's doing well, but he lacked the last 10-50% of that, where he was just banging goals in training. So it's nice to know that he can still get better.
Yeah. A couple more. Just as was referenced earlier, Port Vale haven't played for such a long time, and it seems like they might be missing some key strikers. We know that you like to have a lot of possession and be aggressive and do all of that. Do you feel like that it's even more important, especially being away from home, that maybe this is a real opportunity to jump on them early and take advantage of the fact that they're going to be shorthanded?
Yeah, now we don't know exactly what team they will put out there, but yeah, our approach will be that we will try to press high from first, second, 100%, try to take initiative from the start. But I'm also pretty sure they'll be up for it, and the home fans will be cheering them forward. But we will try to do our best to start fast.
You mentioned that you want to press high. We know that's one of your trademarks of your team. What do you think of the other keys when you have a look at Port Vale? I know you said you don't know what type of team they're going to put out there. Ryan Edmondson just joined on loan from Leeds to Port Vale. What do you think will be the overall keys to be able to ensure that you guys progress?
I think, when after we watched them quite a lot the last 2 days, it's clear that I think they're a team that want to play and want to combine, especially on the side, try to overload the sides. From there, they try to produce crosses or cutbacks in these areas. They also want to, in spells, want to press high. So for me, of course, in these situations, we need to defend well. But on the ball, we need to find the space on the side because they're coming in probably the shape of 5-2-1-2. So the space would be on the sides. We need to explore that and then see if we can make breakthroughs there.
Cheers, Thomas. Good luck.
Thank you.
Matthew Nash, please. You're on mute, Matt.
Hi, sorry about that, guys. Great start to the year. Hi, Happy New Year to you both. I just wanted to check in on Marcus Forss. Just wondered if there's any news that maybe he might go out on loan, or if anyone's approached you with a bid to try and take him this month at all yet.
Hi, Matthew. Marcus, in general, is a player that we're very pleased with. I think he got a great future ahead of him. I think we are open in general. If teams or clubs are approaching us for some of our players. To say that it's going to be a definite, I can't say that. So many things can happen from now to the end of the transfer window. One thing is sure, one stage in Marcus's career, he needs to go out and play more regular, starting minutes, week after week after week. I think he actually he only experienced that in the spell at Wimbledon. So I think that's important. I think his pathway to have success is probably, because also we took the step from the Championship to Premier League, is to play week in, week out, either now or at another stage.
Is it a difficult time to let anybody go, just because obviously games are still continuing, you've got a busy period coming up, and obviously COVID may come back around and hit the squad again?
Yeah, of course. I think especially the COVID is a curveball that all clubs need to handle, because suddenly you need maybe a tiny bit bigger squad, because that's just another way of having a player that is not available. But we also, not in Marcus, but just in general, need to think about the best for the players. What is the best for their development, and how can we make sure we add value or develop their potential the best possible way.
Brilliant. Thanks. All the best for Saturday. Cheers.
Thank you, Ashley.
Sean Walsh, please.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hi, Sean. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Christian Eriksen. He's been speaking to the media in the last week or so about how he feels ready to return to the game, and he wants to play for Denmark at the World Cup this year. How promising is that after such a traumatic experience, particularly for you as a Danish coach and for players like Christian Norgard and Mathias Jensen who have played alongside him?
I think it's fantastic news from Christian. Pleased to hear that he want to go back into the game, because that means that first and foremost that he's healthy and he mentally feels that he's ready to play minutes, and his family is behind that decision. I think for the Danish people, he was our star player before the tournament. So I think I'm pretty sure that for every Danish fans and Danish players, and my good friend Kasper as a head coach is pleased to hear that hopefully he is available for Denmark for the World Cup.
He's on the hunt for a new club now, and it's been reported this week that some Premier League sides are looking to bring him in. Is Eriksen a player you particularly want to come up against in the second half of the season, or is there perhaps even room for him at Brentford?
I think he's a top player. Never been. I only coached him when he was 16, 17 years in the youth national team. I never played against him, but obviously he's a top player. Performed fantastic in Premier League. But in general, I only speak about players that are in our club.
Cheers, Thomas.
You're welcome.
I think finally for the section under immediate embargo, we'll go to Nat, please.
Oh. Hi, Thomas. Happy New Year. Hope you're well.
Hi, Nat. Same to you. Thank you. I'm well. Thank you. And you?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. You've got a few players in your squad who'll be experiencing the FA Cup for the first time. You mentioned Christoph Ayer and Johan Wister spring to mind. What have you told them about what the competition means in this country and what to expect from it? And what did you know of the competition before you came to England?
To be fair, I haven't spoken too much specific to those two players about the FA Cup. Just in general, that it's the oldest cup tournament in the world, and I would say the one with the biggest prestige to try to win. We all know that, and I love the story about cup tournaments, and especially the FA Cup. Of course, I followed, especially when I was younger in Denmark, a lot the FA Cup. So I'm excited, looking forward to it, and for whatever reason, since I've been here, it's only been the Carabao Cup we've been quite successful in. So I like to change that with the FA Cup. This year, I like to see if we can have a nice cup run.
You've got some players in your squad who've got experience playing lower league football and know the physicality that comes with that. How important are they for preparing the rest of your squad for what to expect from Port Vale on Saturday? Yeah,
but I know. I think we have a team that just recently played Championship. Of course, that is 2 levels higher than League 2. But we also played 2 League 2 teams this season, but also the other years. We know what to face. I think actually Port Vale wants to play, and they like to, you know, get the ball in the grass and try to combine. But there will obviously be physicality in the game. We know that. For us, it's to match them in these duels all over the pitch, and then when we can, get the ball in the grass and play.
And finally, from me, Thomas, you're in a strong position in the league. How important is it for your fans to see you push for a cup run and really give the competition the respect it deserves?
Yeah, I think it's important that we do our best to progress. Really, I think the better you can get a cup run in the club. I think the fans will really be excited about it. Take it one game at a time, and then, you know, do what we can to win on Saturday, and then prepare for Southampton. So yeah, one game at a time.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Right, now moving into the section is under